present the Tempest Minerals story, we have Don Smith, Managing Director. Thanks so much.
Morning everyone, and thanks to MiningNews for having us, and thank you to Kylie speaking before me. I'm a big fan of both her and the Helix story, so big shoes to fill for to talk straight after. Tempest Minerals, for those who aren't aware, we're originally a lithium company listed in about 2017. We've now diversified into a big portfolio of projects in Western Australia with a lot of exciting targets to attack in the next 6 to 12 months. Okay. Obligatory disclaimer for everyone to read in your own time. As I just mentioned, we have a number of projects. We're multi-commodity. We do have a large focus on copper also, and Kylie and I were speaking about this yesterday about there is quite a risk of the world being short of copper in the short term, and I know a lot of pundits talk about that, but I was actually looking at the numbers in the last few weeks, and I found it quite terrifying, to be honest. There's less than 2 months supply worldwide of copper, so I think the world's going to need a lot more supply, and I think the price is ready for a significant re-rate in the near future. Bit about Tempest, as I mentioned, listed 2017. We've got a meagre 500 million shares on issue. You can see we're extremely modestly market capped at the moment at about $4 million. We have 1.5 million in cash, but we also have about the same in investments that we can access. So our EV, enterprise value, is, let's just say, very small, less than $1 million at the moment, which makes it a very attractive investment for many people. In terms of the team, we've got a great team crossing multiple disciplines from geology, mining engineering, and also we've got Brian Muller at the chair, who many of you may know as the founder and ex-chairman of SolGold, one of the largest copper discoveries in the world. In terms of sustainability, it's something that we take very seriously from the onset. It's not something that we just tack on to the end of presentations. Every time we work, we look through the lens of what can we do right in the first place, and I think that's the way that all companies should be heading going into the future, because doing things right in the first place makes good business. So there's no need to really harp on about it, except that is something that's really at the forefront of our company. In terms of innovation, that is something that we're doing something very differently. I don't believe there's any company, small or medium, that's doing anything like us in that regard. We have a group of partners that we share our technology with, and we're using a lot of new software, some that we've developed ourselves because frankly it doesn't exist in the industry yet. And that picture on the screen there is a thing called a box scan, which is out of the UK. It's about the size of a small car, and you can put drill core, samples, anything into it, and it will give you XRF, XRD, so all technical things that many companies do manually. So instead of paying someone wages in the highest wages in the world to sit there and manually do this, we've automated it with a robot, and that gives us unbiased real-time data to work with, and we found that's a competitive edge that has shown results already with mineralisation discoveries we've made in the last 2 years. In terms of our projects, I mentioned earlier, we're solely focused in Western Australia, although we do have commercial interests abroad. We've got 5 main working areas at the moment. You'll note there's a lithium project at the bottom there. That's not our priority at the moment, but it is a perfectly legitimate project. The rest of them, we're focused on gold and base metals at this time. And we've got about 2,000 square kilometres total, so it's a non-trivial package. Our main project is in Yalgoo. Seems we've got a formatting error there today. If we look at the top to the bottom of this picture, that's about 100 kilometres as the crow flies. And the large spheres that you can see, they're all world-class mines. So the red one there, Golden Grove, that's the big prize that everyone wants. That's one of the highest grade, longest running copper mines in Australia. Copper, zinc, lead and silver. It's quite an anomaly. Each of those yellow spheres, the large ones, represents more than 1 million ounces of gold. We've got the 2 largest magnetite deposits in Australia within Cooey of us, and the largest tungsten deposit in Australia right beside us as well. So this is a non-trivial area, and you would think that this has been fully explored, but quite simply it hasn't. So a few years ago, that's became the Tempest story, is we were doing some work in the area and we realised that the government geology maps had some problems, and that there are some anomalies there that don't match those, let's just say. And on the left-hand side of the picture there, you can see there's a bright green line. That's one of those examples of that. So they're the key rocks that host numerous world-class mines, and no one realised they were there before. So all of that blue area that we see there on the left-hand side, that has never had a lease on it before. It's never been explored because the map showed it as a barren area. But through our innovative use of data and technology, we've picked up this doesn't match what was there before. So that was pretty exciting, and yeah, we might say that's a technical success. But then in 2022, about this time 2 years ago, we drilled the very first hole into that new area. And this wasn't looking for ore bodies, I'll be honest with you. This was a pure science hole. It was co-funded by the Western Australian government, who recognised the value of what we're doing. And we drilled 2 times 1,000 metre holes, so non-trivial, as I said. And the first hole intersected 3 individual mineralizations, so 3 completely different mineralizing systems. And the first one was a dead ringer for Golden Grove. It was a magnetite chalcopyrite, so a copper-rich iron system. And that put a bit of excitement about our share price at the time. If you look at our share price graph, it has a bit of a spike there. But that was only the first hole. So since then, we've done a bunch more drilling, and we also recently did, middle last year, we did a very large electromagnetic EM survey using a helicopter, and that covered pretty much all of the... Of course, I'm going to throw the thing onto the ground, excuse me. And yeah, so that covered pretty much that whole blue area over there. And if anyone's interested in that information, I recommend you go to our Investor Hub or our YouTube, and you can see videos of that in progress and us out in the field doing various things. So what, you might say? Well, while we were doing that work, we also were doing a lot of ground sampling, so soil sampling and geological mapping. And this area here, which is called Remorse, wasn't our priority at the time, I'll be honest with you. It was a spare area that we were collecting samples when the team didn't have much to do. And when we decided to look at the data, my geologist came running in the room and said, "You have to look at this." And that was the red and blue area there, you can see. The red is copper and the blue is zinc. And you can see that there's a distinct layering to that, and that's very reminiscent of other VMS or volcanogenic massive sulfide deposits around the world, including Golden Grove, which is only a few kilometres away. So for scale, the red and blue area there is about 5 kilometres long, which is pretty serious. And the grades in the soil are definitely not normal. So we actually spent some time checking if that was real, because it was quite exceptional, and it is. And since then, we did the helicopter survey, and we flew over the top of that anomaly, and it just lit up. So that was very exciting for us. And we've been waiting for approvals for some time from the state government to do drilling there. We have those now, and we'll be drilling this within, I would like to say, the end of this month, but it will probably be April now. I can't emphasize, given what happened to our share price last time when we drilled a hole that hit modest mineralization, if this has the capability of being a world-class ore body. I'm not saying it is, but it's about as good as you can get for as a geologist as an exploration target. But that's not all we're doing. So as soon as we finish drilling that, we'll be moving only 2 kilometres to the south to our Sanity target. And our nearby neighbours, Warrior Resources, they're drilling out a resource there at the moment. That's the yellow sphere you can see. And if you follow that outcrop along strike, you find the red and yellow zone that we've picked up there, which has high-grade gold at the surface. So we're pretty confident that we've got a mineralisation extension there as well. So assuming we can get the approvals from the government there in time, we'll be doing 2 drill programs in one. So it'll be a real bonus for everyone. Then we move on to our next project, which is Mount Magnet, which is only about an hour away. And many of you may know Ramelius Resources, very large company working in that area. That's their multi-million tonne hungry mill in the image there. We've got about 20 kilometres squares south, so the boundary of their project is our project, and that's the red line you can see on the screen. So there's a pit there that was finished some time ago, and there is a little bit of exploration that's been done here, but I don't think it was done very robustly. And we went out there, did a bit of modelling before we went out there, 3D modelling of where the rocks should go. And we walked out there and said, oh, there they are. And there's tourmaline, which is often a key mineral for gold, sticking out of the ground. And what do you know, there's a 1 grams per tonne in that rock chip that we picked up. So that's relatively early stage, but we will be drilling that within 3 to 4 months as well. So we're going to a consecutive pipeline of targets that we've got ready for drilling this year. Moving on, our third drill target for 2024 is called the Elephant Project. So we picked this up in around Christmas time. The short version here is the right-hand side is the Albany-Fraser region, the left-hand side is the Yilgarn region. And there's a big blue Albany-Fraser belt there in the middle, and that, from what our current understanding, is the source that all the good stuff comes from. It comes up there and then goes out to the sides. And you can see we've got the IGO/Sirius Nova Bollinger discovery at the bottom left-hand side of the picture, and at the top we've got Tropicana mine, which is one of the largest gold mines in the country. If you take the same geophysical signature that Tropicana has and paste it over the top of Elephant, which it is very similar, that's all I can say, there's also an 8-kilometre long gold anomaly in the soil above that anomaly. So this is our drill target for later in the year, somewhere in the order of start of Q4. So again, it's about that pipeline of targets for the rest of the year. This has a real opportunity of being an elephant, a really serious large ore body. We also picked up some ground late last year in the Irahidi region, so I know Lodestar, who our neighbours over here in the booth area, and have spoken. They've got a fantastic project on the right-hand side. Many of you may know the Rumble and Strickland stories in the bottom of the picture there. So simplifying grossly, but still accurately, is the edge of a basin area, which is a structure in the geology here. That seems to be the target area that is the key for finding lead, zinc, copper here. And if you follow that green dotted line again around the edge, you see it goes straight through the middle of our project. And on the western side, the western side, which is the left-hand side of our project, we have already picked up in historical data, there's a zinc anomaly there. And on the right-hand side, the eastern side, a company did drilling for iron ore there some time ago and didn't assay, but their logging indicates they hit exactly the same rocks as Rumble. So we're pretty excited about that as well. And what's next? We've got, as I mentioned, a number of drill programs planned for the year. We've got funding to do most of that, and there's going to be a whole bunch of news for everyone to pay attention to for a very modestly priced company that has a huge opportunity to re-rate quickly. Thanks a lot.
Hey, thank you, Don. Great to hear the Tempest story. Any questions from the floor? We do have time for one or two before morning tea. Just while they're warming up, one for you, Don.
Go.
I'm excited by drilling today. Tell me more about your drilling program and when you expect those results to be
Sure.
coming through.
So the Yalgoo drilling, as I said, it's as soon as we can organise people and equipment to do it. I can't emphasise how excited about that I am. The most likely scenarios we'll do 3,000 to 5,000 metres, and we'll do one diamond hole, which has proven to be successful for understanding the geology, and a bunch of RC around that to see if we can snag some of that mineralisation.
Fantastic. We'll all look forward to that.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you so much.